the pitch. Is Luke towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Hi, everyone. High above courtside.
Yeah.
Tom and Rico on the 18th floor of Phoenix Towers.
I got to tell you something. I come up that elevator, and you know what goes through my mind? Every movie that had the elevator stuck and people were...
Can I tell you something?
Oh, don't tell me.
This is the God's honest truth. Last week, a guy was stuck for 45 minutes in between floors.
There's got stairs here?
Yeah, but there's two elevators.
Wow.
But I guess if you get stuck, you're
Jeez,
screwed.
I mean, it's like you get nosebleeds. It's so high up.
I know.
Rico, do you have an 18 floors of stairs setting on your pacemaker?
That's a good question.
That's a damn good question, Lou. I
gotta look into that.
You know, it's funny because Ellen is not a big heights person, and when we moved in, I said, "You sure you're going to be okay with this?" She goes, "Absolutely." So first thing I did was I took her out on the balcony.
Okay.
And we sat her down. I sat her in a high top. I said, "All right, now look at the view." And she says, "I'm in. Make me a martini." That's what she said.
Hey, Joe and Dan, great to see
Joe
you guys.
Drelich.
We got three experts on this show now. Joe, Dan, and Lou.
I don't know what we're experts in, but all right, sure, we'll take it.
Very good point.
That's all I gotta say.
This is one of our best shows of the year. We love having these guys. Danny Wulkan from Memory Lane Auctions. Formerly, Dan, what happened? Did you get fired? Did they toss you from what the name of that pawn shop thing?
Pawn Stars. I got a great quick story. No, I left because I was too busy. I'm at my friend's card store in Beverly Hills about 4 days ago. I'm sitting down. I had sold a letter to a buddy of mine who worked at that store. There's a lady, a family comes in. The lady's sitting down with her daughter and says to my buddy, "That Bill Clinton letter, you should bring it into Gold Silver Pawn." And Russ looks at me and he's like, And then he said, "Have you been there?" She's like, "Have I been there? I'm the casting director for Pawn Stars."
Oh, okay.
Wow.
He said, without saying anything and pointing at me, because we're sitting right there together, he says to her, "Have you heard of a guy named Dan Wulkan?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course. He was a sports expert, but I don't watch the show."
Oh.
He points to me and he says, "Hey, lady, this is Dan Wulkan." So she actually asked me to come back on, possibly to come back.
Are you really? But wait a minute, don't you have another gig? Didn't I hear something about another possible? Was it you?
Yeah, it's I'm talking to a network right now for something, but in the time being, it'd be cool to maybe go back like once a month. So
you were on for what, 5 years, weren't you?
5 years, yeah, 50 episodes.
Joe Drelich, did you ever watch Pawn Stars?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Right?
Fantastic show.
Yeah. Now, what about? All right. Now I'm a disappointed question. Do you ever watch The King of Collectibles?
Yes, sir. Fantastic show. Running for politics soon.
I had to, man. I had to. You know that. I've watched a couple of episodes. Actually, this is really funny because
Did you lose a bet?
No, the very first episode that Ellen and I watched, I said, "Come on, we got to check it out." We watched an episode, and as may God be my judge, it was the episode that Ken Kendrick was on, talking about the Diamondbacks collection book that we wrote and the Wagner T206, and there's our book right on camera.
And the collection we assembled for him.
I'm sorry?
And the collection we assembled, most of that for
Ken. Oh, I know you did. A lot of that came from Tom Candiotti, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
your book sales skyrocketed, right?
We're not going to go that far. We're not going to go that far.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're going to be all over the place today. Let's talk to Joe. First of all, you got the Philly show coming up. I got to tell you something. We had a blast.
Oh, I really did.
I mean,
it was awesome.
Petroselli does not say this often. We've done a ton of shows together, but you said this was really enjoyable, man.
Great. Well, we went a couple of years ago, and
this was better.
Absolutely, and bigger, and of course, I got excited. The guest autograph guys, of course, were there, former players, and
all the guys he knows. Joe, listen to this one.
Oh, no, come on,
no. Listen to
he
this.
does this.
No, Dan, listen to this. So, that little room you guys had in the back where the TV was, where we would sit around.
Where you guys were eating all the Pop-Tarts. You guys were just like you guys were going deep diving into the Pop-Tarts.
No, there was some really good barbecue chips there, too.
Yeah. He brought his own microwave.
Anyway, it was funny because we had a couple of hours to kill between when the show was going to start to broadcast and Rico doing a signing. So Rico's out there doing his signing, and by the way, he had a really, really nice crowd, nice turnout.
Yeah, 2 people.
So after his signing, he comes in and he's holding a photograph, right, like this. He's holding a photograph, and he walks in. I says, Rico, great picture. He says, who is this guy? He came up to me and asked me to have his picture taken with me. It was Johnny Manziel.
Oh, no way. That's great.
Well, I didn't.
He had no idea who he was. No idea.
No, because the girl that was there, she was terrific. The staff was.
Oh,
terrific.
Christy's phenomenal.
And she says, "Would you like to take a picture with him?"
Oh, it's this other girl.
Yeah. The girl was in charge. But anyway, I said, "Yeah." I didn't know who he was. So now I still have that. I got that photo, and someday.
He's going to
take. Joe, that was a great show.
It was. We had a blast.
Really,
we had a blast.
It was great having you guys there. It really was.
No, we had a lot of fun, and dinner was good.
Everything.
Who did we go to dinner with? Thomas Sulo.
Yeah.
And just Joe
and his friend
and his buddy Anthony, Tony, whatever his name was.
Yeah, but
wait, I picked up the tab for that.
You did not.
I picked up the
ATS Communications.
Well, it doesn't matter.
But
I thought it was Philly's show. I told you guys I was buying dinner, man.
I
thought it was on our credit card.
You did enough for us.
Yeah.
You did enough for us.
But Tom had a Groupon anyway.
Well, this is Tomasello's. He's supposed to be an Italian guy, right? He says, I got a great Italian restaurant, Maggiano's. I says, Joe, it's good, but it's a chain. I said, it's like eating at the Olive Garden. No, it's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we had fun.
Oh, it was a good time.
Let's talk about the Philly show this coming month. No, next month, actually, a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Same location. Joe, what about some of the signees? Can you? I know we're going to do the live read, but can you?
I mean, the signees are wonderful, guys. But the cool thing about Philly is you guys came for the 50th anniversary, which we obviously really appreciated that. 50 years is pretty remarkable. I mean, Dan's been in the space a really long time. I think, if Dan was going back to his 25-year-old self and thought if he could fast forward 25 years, the hobby would be bigger and stronger and better than ever. Like, I pinch myself every day, to be honest. So, for me, the Philly show is way more than just the individual components like autograph signers. It really is just a earmark of our history of our hobby, and to see how it's grown and what the show offers. Philly's always been about the cards, and the collectors, and we did add the signing component, which is great. It really is. It's fun. It's great to have the players there. People love it. Rico did come out and did sign, which was awesome. And that's the cool part of it, is the nostalgia part, right? Like, Rico's not down in Pennsylvania. So There's a lot of people that travel from, out of state to come see him because they can't get all the way up to Boston.
Well, actually, Jimmy Lomborg was there too, wasn't he, the next day?
Jim was, yeah.
Jim was there the next day, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to get him on your day so you guys could be together, but we did sign a couple of cool baseballs. You signed for us, and Jim signed the dual sign because of the last out with Mantle and the different things that you guys did.
I'll tell you everything.
So Lomborg wouldn't work with him. He just wouldn't talk.
Actually, the next day,
Yeah, you guys had a
next day
signing
you
the
worked
next
with
day,
him?
right?
Who?
Yeah.
Didn't you, after we got back from Philly, the next day you worked with Jim down in Connecticut?
Yeah, right, in Connecticut.
Right.
But yeah, it's great to have the players, but you could see the people and the kids.
Yeah.
A lot of kids there with parents. And
That's what it is. Yeah, you're
we
right.
love to see that because that's the future of the industry.
I think
but it's
memory
nice
lane
to see them.
come back to that show.
I said that. I be honest with you, Dan. I mentioned that to JP. He says, "Why the hell are you not there?" And he says, "Well, we're a little short-handed on the East Coast." I says, something. Put Wulkan on a plane. He'll have a blast. And let him do it.
You can
I
go.
spoke to a
Me and
couple
you.
people, and they said that you could barely walk the convention. It was just
It was jammed.
and that's a
organized
testimony to, like Joe, what you were saying a long time ago. At the Gloria Rothstein shows where you could barely walk. At the Westchester County Center, and that's the love of the game, the love of collecting has exploded. And for you guys to do that, hats off to you. It's amazing. It's great.
Louis, chime in here, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, that's what we try to do there is celebrate the hobby. Like, that's the truth of it, is we try to be really organic with what we do. We try not to bring too many bells and whistles into the space. We try to make it be about the cards. And, to Dan's point and to your point, guys, when you came to the show about 8 years ago, we were at the casino 5 miles down the road. We were in 50,000 square feet. And now we're expanded down the road at the Oaks Convention Center, where we've been the last few years, and we're just breaking through 175,000 square feet now. So
I got to tell you something
from the size of the show.
From the broadcasting perspective, it was light years, quite frankly, light years ahead of where it was 8 years ago. I mean, we had beautiful equipment. We were simulcasting with iHeartRadio. The producer, the guy that produced the show, was fantastic. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, he was. He was. Really
They just we had a lot of fun with that.
But also a testament to Joe that he stayed with it. A lot of people will promote a show and they'll say, you know what, let's go for it. Oh, it's not going to work. You stayed with it.
Yeah.
And it just continued to grow. And that's the investment you have to give in this business, that you have to, build a following. And that's why you're running the National. You guys.
Joe, are you happier?
Commitment.
Are you happier with this location versus the older location? Because I can't see how you wouldn't be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the good thing is the people that like the casino, it's not that much of an inconvenience. It's 10 minutes down the road. So the guys that like that environment, like to be there and gamble, which I do myself, but I just don't have the time during the show. So I don't, even when we were in the casino, I didn't go into the casino, but it still accommodates, right? We still have a small room block there. Some of our vendors, some of our guests do stay there, but yeah, Oaks is a better fit. If I had my ideal, I'd be closer to the airport. That's the one complaint we get is, we're close to an hour from the airport. If we were 20, 30 minutes, I think we'd take the whole building. The whole building is about 245,000 square feet. And like I said, we're in about 175 now. But that's the other thing we tried to do with that show, was always be cognizant and conscious of the fact, what's the crowd look like versus the dealers. We never wanted to take the money and run, so to speak, right? We always wanted to make sure, and we would talk to every dealer after every show to make sure they had a good show. How do they feel about expansion? And here we are 10 years later, and we're still growing, and we're thankful for all the support. And, like I said, you guys coming was huge for me. I wish I would have gotten to spend more time and come on air with you guys, but I'm glad you got to see.
Yeah, we have a great time.
Yeah, the new version of the show.
The dealers keep coming back. I mean, a lot of these.
Oh God!
I mean, all of them.
Everyone,
years.
Everyone, just about every one of our sponsors was there, except for this company on the West Coast. They weren't there, but
we'll get them out there.
It's
cold. It's cold in December and March. We'll get Dan out there in September when the weather's a little milder.
There's nothing like the East Coast, and people say, "What do you like better?" And you can't compare. It's just the wholesome. It's memories. This whole thing is all about building memories.
Absolutely, there's no doubt. Hey,
Joe,
I want to ask you guys.
I'm sorry, we've watched the hobby evolve over the span of the show and evolve and change. How has the show itself evolved and changed to either lead that or follow that?
Our show in particular?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess what I would say is, with the expansion, it allowed us to bring in a lot more modern card dealers, right? The Philly show was notoriously known as a vintage card show. I mean, we certainly had crossover into modern cards, but going back 10 years ago when Tom and Rico were last there, I would say we were 70% vintage, 30% modern. And now there's this new thing that's been around since 1999 that's taken the world by storm called Pokemon. And it is the real deal. I mean, it is amazing. I have learned so much about Pokemon.
Can we talk about that, Joe? Because we know nothing about it. And I know Dan knows nothing about it because Dan's a vintage guy. And quite frankly, you've been a vintage guy for years. Explain the whole phenomenon to us, because I would like to understand it right now. I just can't wrap my arms around it because I don't know what the hell it's about.
It's so difficult too, because again, we're related to sports, right? And I think one of the things that attracts us is the live sport, right? If you're into modern cards, if a guy performs well, it's like watching a stock, right? It's going to accelerate. The thing I've learned about Pokemon from my 17, almost 18-year-old son, who's been collecting for 10 years, better part of 10 years. He used to play when he was 9 and 10 years old, and now he collects, and he's educated me and taught me. It's really the expansiveness of the reach, right? What baseball means to us in America, it doesn't necessarily mean that in some other countries, right? There are certain countries like Japan that love baseball, but it's not global, right? It's getting there, right? But Pokemon, for whatever reason, from the day it started, it was a global phenomenon. So the production numbers, where what I would say in sports is limited, right? What we call a limited edition, Pokemon has the audience that is compound sports. It's insane.
I got to tell you something.
Yeah.
My rheumatologist, he's a very dear friend of mine. And Brian's probably 40, 38. And we always talk when I'm in for my quarterly checkups and stuff. We talk, and he knows what I do. And we started talking about Pokemon about a year to a year and a half ago. And he said, man, that's all I collected when I was a kid. That's all I collected when I was a kid.
Never heard of it.
He has become a Pokemon addict. And by the way, Dan, he has spent a boatload of money with you guys on memory lane.
We had packs. We had a huge pack.
Yeah,
he spent series box that Paul bought and ended up and I can say that publicly because it went public for about $400,000 for that Series 1 box, probably 4 auctions ago, and they opened it up on Whatnot. And I'll tell you, at my friend's store, Canon Collectibles in Beverly Hills, it's like one of the hottest stores now. They have these kids dropped off there, and their parents they allot them an allowance, and they say, honey, you have $2,000. They're 10. They're 11 years old. You have $2,000 to spend, and they'll buy these $500 packs of Pokemon. I've never seen it before in my life.
It's good. At a couple of different levels. Number one, it's good, for instance, like the Philly show and the National. I mean, Joe, at the National, isn't there a designated area this coming year for Pokemon, or did I dream that?
No. So a couple things to touch on your point. The one thing you said, Tom, about, the guy collecting and then now recollecting. So that's what it's all about, right? That's what we've all done with any level of collecting. Like if you are a collector, what you tend to do is gravitate towards what you did when you were a kid. So that's the other element, right? So Pokemon's 27, going on 30 years old, right? They're celebrating their 30th anniversary, I think, next year, right? So if you collected 25 years ago and you were 10 years old, now you're 35 years old. You probably got a career going. Maybe you've got some extra money in your pocket. So there's that element too, right? But, fast forwarding to trying to tie in Lou's piece with the question you asked, that's the other thing that the Philly show added in September of 2024. We had 0 dedicated TCG Pokemon tables, 0.
Right.
And we had some people that had some crossover. Maybe they had a few items in their showcase. And for the September show, we started out with 20 tables. We offered out 20 tables at a discounted price. And we said, listen, if you're going to come in and sell Pokemon, and they also call it TCG, right? So that's the phrase, Pokemon TCG, meaning, it could be some of the other gaming cards that are out there. We sold out immediately. We sold out within 5 days. And then December, we expanded it to 40 tables, sold out again. March of 2025, we went to 50 tables, sold out.
God.
Right now, we're at 120 Pokemon TCG tables with over 200 people on the wait list for table space.
Is it going to be in a designated area?
It is. It's in Hall B. So we have a full section. We do allow crossover dealers that have sports cards and Pokemon.
Sure.
But if you're in Hall B, our show is in Hall A, B, and E. And so Hall B is where our autograph pavilion is, and that space there.
I got to let my doctor know this.
That's why that the Philly show could change into a mini national, because I think you could handle that 240,000 square feet and have a lot of people fly in right near the airport.
No doubt.
I think it could handle section, and keep it in the same area. I bet you could handle that.
But, Dan, that's a good point. That's kind of my vision with the Pokemon TCG is some of the other halls, halls D and E are smaller halls. So we may experiment with that in September and December and take Pokemon and move it into Hall D, where it would be just D exclusive, where you could actually enter just that space. Like, I get where you're going. That's sort of where my mindset is I like the idea of having shows inside of shows that are in the collectible realm that kind of complement each other, but are condensed. So, a Pokemon TCG collector might still have some sports interest, but if he can spend 80 or 90% of his time concentrated in that area, what that's going to translate to, my vision, is that it's better for the dealers, right? If you can find what you're looking for in a smaller footprint, it's gonna be more effective, right? It's going to be more effective for you as a collector and more effective for a dealer. So yeah, Dan, you're spot on.
And you'll have crossover, like you said. You'll have some cool crossover people. There are kids that are making so much money in I love this. In Pokemon, they're starting to learn about vintage. There are kids.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Bitcoin that are parlaying money,
Absolutely.
and the modern kids are going into vintage.
Rick,
but what are the Babe Ruth cards of Pokemon?
I'll tell you right now.
How do you know?
I'll tell you right now. It's actually easy. It's actually easier than you think. You want to know? Listen, I'll share with you. I don't ever do this. I never go. First of all, Tom knows he has to pull teeth to get me on. So I'm not a
you think?
podcaster, and I've got 1,000 times where I've turned it down to the one time I say yes. It's just not whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah. My point is myself personally, I've invested in Pokemon through the education of my son, and I'll tell you exactly what I buy. I'll just tell you what I buy.
Yeah.
I buy. 1999 is the first edition. Okay. So you have the base set and you have the first edition base set. And in 1999, they also made a version called Jungle and Fossil. Okay. So let's just stick there because that's nice and easy. So you have Pokemon base, Pokemon first edition, Jungle first edition, Fossil first edition, right? I buy the graded packs, unopened packs, slab by PSA. That's what I buy. I buy that because I know it hasn't been tampered with. You still have the mystery of not knowing what's inside. And it's the very first year of production of the product. So because we all open things and that's our nature, right? There's just going to be less and less and less of those over time because people do breaks, people open on live stream. And this is just something, I'm not saying I'm going out and spending crazy amounts of money,
right?
But what my son taught me is, let's say somebody does take, like Dan said, a box of 36 packs inside of a sealed box. Let's just say Jungle, right? 1999 first edition Jungle, and it's a sealed box. And they open that box and they send all 36 packs to PSA. Okay. What's going to happen is PSA is going to grade all those packs individually. And what you want is there's 3 different wrapper designs. Okay. So what Pokemon people like to collect is they like to collect one of each of the wrappers. So they have the set, right? So what I did personally, this is my own personal, it's not investment advice. This is nothing to me personally. I bought one of each design sequentially serial numbered, meaning it came from a box. So if you know what I'm talking about a PSA serial number, let's just say the last 4 digits were 1, 2, 3, 4. Then my next pack is 1, 2, 3, 5. And my next one is 1, 2, 3, 6. So I know those 3 packs were graded at the same time. I have all 3 versions of the wrapper. If I had them handy, I'd pull them up and show them to you. Next time I come on, I'll show them to you. Anyway, that's my
Very good strategy.
To base level. And then your number one question, Rico, was who's the Babe Ruth? Charizard. Charizard is your Babe Ruth and Pikachu. Those are your two main characters.
That's what I thought.
So you buy the original Charizard card. You look that up, Charizard, 1999 Series 1. It's Mickey Mantle, because even in a crumpled up, because remember, kids played with these cards like we played with baseball cards. Yeah. So the 1999 Charizards, a lot of them are crumpled up. Kids had them in their pockets. They were playing at school the same way we did cards. It's so funny. You'll see Charizards in PSA 1s, PSA 2s, just like 52 Mantles. It's hilarious,
Wow.
Charizard's a guy. And
all right, listen, we're going to take a quick break.
You should have taken notes. I took notes, and I'm in.
Well, you're going to have to take a screenshot of that. All right, listen, we're a little behind, but that's okay. Lou's very, 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 he works with us. Let's put it that way. Joe Drelich is in the house. Dan Wulkan is in the house. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have another Crackerjack moment. We are going to we're going to see if we can get a little tidbit or two out of Joe regarding the National. Want to talk to Danny about Memory Lane and the Rarities auction. Yep. I want to talk about the new book project a little bit, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, the new book's going to be great.
So we're excited about it. Hang in there, and we shall return.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
Let's go! Batter up!
Hi, everyone. This is Rico Petrocelli. JustCollect.com, a leader in the vintage sports card industry, is giving free appraisals on your vintage cards. They'll evaluate your collection for free and let you know the value of it at no cost and no obligation. If you're ready to sell, JustCollect.com will offer you industry-leading prices to buy your card collection. To begin your free baseball card appraisal, visit JustCollect.com or call them at 732-828-2261. That's JustCollect.com for your free vintage card appraisals and top buy prices for your cards. Check out JustCollect.com today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
With record-breaking sales from everything from the white border T206 Kahunas Wagner for $3.12 million to some great items that support the Jackie Robinson Foundation, Golden Auctions has set the highest standards for the finest in sports cards, autographs, and game-used memorabilia. We're always accepting consignments of high-end premium sports treasures or entire collections. Please register for our next auction and bid now at goldenauctions.com. That's golden with an I. We at Golden Auctions are committed to providing unsurpassed customer service for the discriminating collector. That's exactly why we're the leader in the industry. Visit goldenauctions.com or call 856-767-8550. Remember, Golden Auctions. We don't just break records, we shatter them.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we're back. Okay, we are back. Joe Drelich's in the house. Danny Wulkan's in the house. Louis, Rico, myself. What are you doing?
I'm looking at the copy.
Read it correctly this week, will you please?
Oh, I don't fool around. You know, I'm very serious about that.
Yeah. All right. It is time for another Crackerjack moment brought to us each week by our good friend Paul Borges and PB Collectibles. Go to pbcollectibles.com for that special vintage card at an amazing price. Now, we're down to about 10 books. Dan and Joe, we got a call several months ago from our warehouse that they found 4 cases of Crackerjack book, and this book has been out of print for I don't even know how long.
It's a great book,
probably 8 or 9 years. But they found 4 cases buried, and they called us up. So we want to get rid of them. There's about 10 left, and you can go. Louis will tell you where to go. But this week's Crackerjack moment is Joe Tinker. As part of the great double play combo of all time, Joe Tinker, along with Johnny Evers and Frank Chance, led the Cubs to 4 World Series. A slightly above average hitter, Tinker made up for his offensive deficiencies, Rico, sounds familiar, with his slick fielding play at shortstop. Considered one of the I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Considered one of the best. Considered one of the best as shortstop, Tinker led the league in assists 3 times, putouts 2 times, fielding percentage 5 times, and range factor 4 times. Interestingly enough, Tinker at second base, Johnny Evers was at second base. I'm sorry. He and Johnny Evers did not speak to each other for 30 years. Although he compiled a lifetime batting average of .262, Tinker was very skilled at bunting, delivering hit-and-run plays, and strategically placing hits. He was the catalyst in the one-game playoff against the Giants after the famous Merkle game in 1908. As a matter of fact, he was the one responsible for the lone run in the infamous game itself, hitting a home run off Christy Mathewson. Once that game was declared a tie, Tinker helped the Cubs take the subsequent playoff game when he hit a triple off of Mathewson that triggered a 4-run inning. After 1912 season, Johnny Evers was named manager of the Cubs, and Tinker understandably wanted out. He was traded to the Reds, where he played and managed for 1 season. Tinker then jumped to the new Federal League as a player manager of the Chicago Feds, later known as the Whales, and led his 1915 Whales to the Federal League pennant. After the league folded, the Cubs took him back as a manager for the 1916 season. Tinker then owned and managed teams in the American Association and Florida State League. His business ventures included real estate development in Orlando, Florida, where the historic ballpark Tinker Field was named in his honor. He later scouted for the Cubs. Joe Tinker was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1946, and that's another crackerjack moment.
Yeah, and Evers?
Evers.
Evers. He didn't like him, right?
No, he hated him.
Well, would you like a guy named Tinker?
Whatever.
Tom, are you giving away that book?
This one here is for my reading purposes. No, but you can go on Tom, or Louis will tell you.
No, in fact, if you want one of these extremely limited copies of this book that are left available, go to tomzappalamedia.com/Crackerjack Collection to order your copy of the Crackerjack Collection, Players Prize, the baseball's prize players. This book, I can't do it while there's coughing. I just can't do it. This great book will give you a glimpse into the personal and professional lives and the players in this iconic collection. That's the Crackerjack Collection, now on sale, 30% off the regular price at tomzappalamedia.com/Crackerjack Collection.
Yeah, 30% off, Dan. That's not bad, right?
Yeah, 50's better.
Well, well, I'll tell you what. I can't help you, but I can take the dust off the cover for you. That I will do. I promise.
But how about we give away a Mike Tyson signed glove? I got a couple in the other room. How about how do you do this where you give away something on the show?
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. It's right now. I don't know if you guys know this, but we effective January 1st, we're live right now. However, Joe just got ill because I said that. We are live, but we're encouraging people to still watch the show at 6:30 because I'm on the computer, communicating with them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So I will come up with a way, Dan. Dan, you got one or two?
I got one. I'll give.
Okay, so I will come up with some type of a tonight with something for them to answer or whatever, and they will get a signed Mike Tyson glove. Correct?
Everlast glove, and it's PSA'd, and it's also got a hologram on it from the agent. So just send me the address and I'll ship it.
Will do. Hey, Danny, before we get back to Joe, let's talk about the rarities auction. You guys just had a really successful auction. You just finished about a week ago.
Yeah.
But you got Blockbuster coming up in the spring. Can you any little carrots you can float in front of us that you guys are going to be having in the auction?
The auction that just ended, I mean, we crushed it with vintage, as far as we sold an 84 star Jordan for almost $400,000, and it just amped the rest of the market. Like the next day, lower grades were going for crazy 6-figure prices. Things are hot. I think it also has to do with the hype of Kevin O'Leary and buying that multi-million-dollar card. VC people are coming in. There's not enough for people to buy, even people that are just jumping into the arena.
There's a new one that's popping up. It's signed by Rico Petrocelli and Eddie Goodell.
Top one, the tall and the short.
It's going to be
Eddie Goodell.
I mean, what I remember, JP and I had a PSA 7 mantle that we sold, I think, for $70,000, and we all have these stories. We own the 51 Bowman mantle in a 10 that we both bought for $600, sold it for $800, and we thought we were the greatest guys in the world, that we knew what we were doing, making $100K each. Come to find out, it's like a $20+ million card today. But as far as mantle, like in this last auction, we sold a PSA 7 mantle for about $112,000.
Nice.
A PSA 5 mantle for $230,000+, a 5. It's everybody wants to, and they're not printing anymore like they do the modern. So
that card just won't give up, man.
The SGC 5.5 for 135K. It's just, how about a 53 tops maze? I'm not sure the pop on that, but 135,000 for a PSA 8 53 top second year card.
Yeah, I got a couple of emails. We had some of our listeners were really into that particular auction. What about this new auction that's coming up, the rarities auction? Any kind of memorabilia or cards that you can kind of tease us with, or is it all secretive still?
It's all secretive right now for the moment. We are working on a set that I think was locked in today in the Midwest. A 59 tops baseball set that's completely, it seems like it's going to be the highest graded set ever. So we just had to open up all the boxes and put the set together, but that's not a big deal. Just kidding. Just kidding. For the
Dan, I got a question you may not want to answer.
Sure.
When the competition also has a auction at the same time as you guys do you look beforehand, or to see what they've got going and so on and so forth? I mean, not that I know you guys get along, so the different auction houses, but
it's a great question. It's
actually pretty not bad.
A, it's friendly competition. B, we never look at what they have. We're just too busy putting our auction together. But we buy a lot of stuff out of other, bigger auctions like Heritage, and Leland's and REA.
Everybody does that.
Okay. Yeah, we buy for clients, we buy for ourselves, and then put them in our auction, feeling that it's a stock market. It's an absolute stock market that if you can make better margins than what you're buying it at, you buy it. But as far as looking at what others have, here's the thing with us: there are a handful of auction houses that are mean to a point that they're really mad at like what other auction houses get. To me, there is enough for everyone, and it's so common for us to worry 1 month before our deadline as to where is everything, and it happens. It's like clockwork. It happens every single time that we get an onslaught of stuff, and next thing you know, it's another great auction. It's another great auction, and records keep being set, whether it's us or other auction houses.
You're making a point. I was talking to Hef today, because one of the sections of the new book is called Epic Treasures, and what that section is consists of. They're not actual finds, because that's the first chapter of the book. So what we did was these are we're going to have about 40, 50 of them, maybe a little more, of just the really kind of cool, iconic pieces that have cool backstories to them. And we also have a section called Private Collectors, and Hef is in our Private Collectors. We've gone to all the biggest collectors in the country, and asked them to tell us about their one prize piece that they own. And we talk about the backstory. And Hef's prize piece is that he owns, that is his favorite, is a Nellie Fox, his MVP trophy, game used glove, and either jersey or bat. I think it's a jersey signed, all game used. And the backstory is he bought it through a Heritage auction. Yeah, he bought it from Heritage, and so now we've talked to Hef about bringing it back there. Obviously, we talk about Nellie Fox. Now we're going to Heritage to get the backstory from them, how far back we can go with it.
Yeah, life's all about stories, and I'll tell you, with your book that's coming out, I'll be transparent. I played sports in school, in high school, college. I collected baseball cards. I bought and sold. I wasn't a student. I hated to read. But what you're going to be producing, I will read cover to cover. I'll tell you why. Because it's what I grew up on. It's the stories. And from things that people have that they've kept to things that maybe they've sold that they wish they never sold, it's going to be a gluttony of great stories. And again, that's why Joe was saying, that's why people today will buy Pokemon, because they collected it years ago.
So.
That's why they'll read the book, because they Well, it's great. It's great.
There is one potential. We're working on it. We're trying to connect the dots, and we almost have the dots connected.
Hall of Fame. You get the Hall of Fame to sell it?
No. This is regarding. Let's just put it this way. This is regarding the most iconic card in the history of the hobby, and if we can connect a few more dots, I honestly think it's going to turn the hobby upside down.
I told you I'd give my card for Pete's sakes.
I do. I think it's going to, if we can connect.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
The dots on a couple of pieces. Let's put it this way: we can go back. We're in the process of going back prior Bill Mastro buying the card. And
I see where you're going with this.
And it's going to be, I think if we can, again, we have a couple of dots to connect, but we think it can, if we can put it all together, it's really going to be a cool story.
It could be a movie, and he's going to tell you the whole story, but it could be a movie.
We'll see what happens. We have some good documentation. We have some photographs. We have all of that, but we're trying to get one individual to kind of help us out. And he's on the fence, so we'll see what happens. Yeah. That's how it teases. All right, let's get to the national, for instance, for a minute.
Well, I want to stay where we're at for a second, because this turned into just such an awesome episode. Like, there's so many rabbit holes to go down, but I know we got to wrap up. But
no, we can chat about it. We're just excited about it. But again, we're not there, and in order for us to do it, and I'm being honest with you guys. I mean, like you were honest with us. We've spoken to lawyers. We have everything. Everything is documented, but there's a couple of gaps that we're trying to fill, and we're having a hard time doing it. So we'll see. So it's either going to be a hit or miss.
No, and I was even just generally referring to Dan's, the way he went down. And believe me, the last thing I thought I'd be explaining on this show today was Pokemon. Like, like it just turned into this really cool conversation. Yeah, like it really did. And even Dan just sharing about regrets and buying things and selling things. Like, there's so many reasons. Like, again, we could do multiple episodes here of why our hobby's exploding. It's like this great secret we all knew 25 years ago, and we were trying to tell our friends and tell people, and now it's actually just happening organically.
Exactly.
Like, so many people are in the pool now. Yeah, it's become cool. It's legitimate. It's an actual commodity. Everything we trade, from Pokemon to brand new cards to vintage cards, it's just so cool, and your book and all the books that you guys have done, they're a piece of that puzzle. Like,
this is our last, baby. This is our last.
He said that the last book.
This is our last.
But what you have to understand is there's an element of education that you guys have provided that's available for the next 100 years for people to learn from those books that you put out. And anyway, I love it all. I'm a card.
I appreciate it. I really do.
And it's just fun. I could sit here all day, but I know you want to talk a little bit about the national.
I do want to talk about the national. One thing, I don't even know if you know this, we've talked to Christy about what I thought was really, really cool last year. And we've kind of volunteered, and I guess Christy's going to work me in somehow to help out you guys, is that podcast studio. That podcast studio is superb. I'm talking superb. And Christy and I have been talking, and I said, look, I'll jump in, do a couple of segments, whatever you guys need, because I have a lot of downtime, and I'll be more than happy. But that is state of the art, that thing.
Well, it's funny that you say that. We tested that out a couple of years ago, and it's really just getting more and more traction to the point of this particular show that we're doing right now. I feel like the National Podcast Studio, if done correctly, could literally just run like this. You could just have a revolving door of conversations where you just have guys coming in and out and sharing stories, like Dan sharing and you're sharing and I'm sharing.
Actually, I told Christy, I did tell Christy, I says, Christy, she says, well, can you do maybe 2 hours over the weekend or 3 hours? I said, yeah. And the guys that I'm going to hit up are guys like Dan, guys like Joe Orlando. Those guys, get them in studio for a half hour and talk about the hobby. Not going to talk about memory lane auctions. We're going to talk about the hobby, talk about vintage cards. We'll get some modern guys in.
Well, the stuff about Pokemon, too.
It's education. It's education. Even Dan's conversation, regardless, memory lane or not memory lane, like, educating people and sharing those stories has so much value. There's no salesmanship happening. It's not like Dan said. Dan was very, very, very honest and open. Like, he buys stuff from Heritage and for his own collection to resell. We're all doing it, and educating people and letting people know that's how it's done is like being a good steward of the hobby. Like, and that's what I'm for. That's why I'm a show promoter, be honest with you. Like, I love buying and selling cards and transacting, but like, I have a role, and like, there's an element of me that just has decided, like, this is wonderful to be able to put on this show that provides entertainment for people. It provides a living for people that are dealers that make money off of this. Like, I don't want to say like a responsibility necessarily, because I could not do it at any point. Point is we all are here because we love it, and we love geeking out and talking about it and sharing our stories. And I'll jump into the national, and the segue will be, we're really excited about the national. The biggest thing I can unveil is like last year we finally broached into the upstairs, which is Hall G, right? The nationals in Rosemont. And for those viewers that don't know, Rosemont, Illinois.
By the way, July 29th to August 2nd.
Right, which is 10 minutes from the airport, super convenient, great facility. Traditionally, we've always been downstairs. Last year was the first year we were able to go up the escalator and start to branch off. And the reason we did that was because there's over 500 people waiting to get in as dealers at the National. So we test piloted 75 tables upstairs, different format, right? The downstairs is booths, right? Every dealer gets a 10 by 15 booth, 150 square feet, 3 tables to exhibit on. Now we've got everything covered. We've got corporate booths that are bigger than houses. We've got dealer booths that are 10 by 15. We've got dealer booths that are 10 by 10. And now we've got 8-foot tables. So Hall G was a big success last year. We're expanding that. That's going to be 5 times the size that it was. There'll be over 150 tables upstairs now. To your point, you asked me before, there is going to be a TCG Pokemon section dedicated to upstairs where it's TCG and Pokemon dealers only. Upstairs is going to have an international element to it. I'll leave the details for that for a later episode, but we all know that the 2026 World Cup is coming into town. So I'll let your imaginations, wander a little bit. Fabulous. But upstairs will be
very cool. Very cool.
We've had one of our great vendors from China, the company, they volunteered to move their corporate space from downstairs to upstairs and anchor what we're sort of phrasing and calling the International Pavilion. They gave us a wonderful idea about making the food upstairs international food. So there's going to be a cool element of that.
Nice.
The Breakers Pavilion, which is the area where they do live breaking and packs, is all being revamped and redone. We're super excited about some really, really cool elements and components that are going to be happening there. And like what I think is best is let's do another episode in 4 to 6 weeks, and we'll get Jimmy and Brian on. And when we have a lot more things buttoned up where we can actually just talk openly about it. And, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
How do we get, Joe, how do we get you guys to do another 3 years and another 3 years and another 3 years? Like, it really needs to stay with the people that have this damn passion.
Well, thank you, Dan. I mean, like the board of directors of the National they're great stewards of the hobby. They have a real deep, true passion, many, many decades worth of dedication. So we love working with them. They've trusted us, as that the previous management team were great people. They were in charge for a very long time. So, I'm sure it was nerve wracking for the board to have the changeover to Jimmy, Brian, and myself. But, we're 3 years in now, and
they got to be happy, Joe. They got to be happy, man.
Yeah, we're just as passionate as we were in day one. Like we're hobbyists, all 3 of us, Jim, Brian, and myself. We love the hobby. We all collect. We just want to see it, just keep growing and more people just appreciate it, especially with the way electronics is in this world. Like cards are cards, man. You handle them, you look at them, like you geek out at them, it's just such a different, great escape from, the world that we live in. And we're,
you go to the show, and it's, remember my first national I was like a little kid in a candy shop.
You were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Tom,
I couldn't believe it.
You were overwhelmed.
It was
just to let you know, Tom, the pronunciation for both of you, because I know you're not into it that much, but you will get into it. It's Hey Man, Pokemon, not Pokemon.
Who said that?
You did.
Oh, Pokemon.
All right, listen, we're gonna have to take. We're running.
Pokey.
Louis is being very. Louis, I appreciate you
what
being
he's-
as patient as you are
He
today.
is. He is.
Having fun as hell. So
All right, listen. Before we take a break, Joe. This.
Oh, come on.
No. Joe, I don't know if you've ever heard the Rico Petrocelli Philly live read.
Perfect.
But it's a train wreck. Go ahead.
That's not true.
Great lead in.
All right, here it is.
I thought it was me, and I was going to apologize to Joe before I read it. So
No, that's right.
No, but he gives it to me in small print.
Here.
I gotta be like this. Here. No,
you have no excuse.
Good. Okay.
It's become a show attraction. It's got its own flair to it.
No excuse.
All right, here we go. East Coast Sports Marketing, along with eBay, are pleased to present the Philadelphia Sports Collectors Show. The Philly Show from Friday, March 6th to Sunday, March 8th, held at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center Halls, A, B, and 100 Station Avenue.
You're not breathing.
Who wrote this? Oaks, Pennsylvania.
Joe wrote it.
Oh, that's good. 19456. Look, the Philly Show is bigger and better than ever. I've been there. Shop over 1,000 tables from 300 of your favorite hobby dealers from across the country displaying sports card and collectibles from the 1800s.
You're not breathing
when you
correctly.
were brought. I know it. I can't. You got to get any oxygen here? 1800s to the present day. Visit the new Pokemon TCG section.
What did he just say?
Pokemon. Yeah, TCG section. Over 100 tables. Listen, major sports auction houses and third-party grading and authentication. Tough word, isn't it? Companies are on hand to assist your collecting needs. The Philly Show is family-friendly, and it is great. You see a lot of kids there.
You do.
And all kids 10 and under get in for free. So a military gets 50% off, too. And we've seen guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a veteran, too. So autographed guests to include 10
You're in the
plus
Boy
baseball
Scouts.
Hall of Famers. Hey, look who's going to be there. It's a great show. Look at these. Mike Piazza.
Nice Italian guy.
No, well, Chipper Jones. Ozzie Smith was one of the great, maybe the best shortstop ever.
I'll take issue with that.
Next, Derek Jeter. Oh, yeah.
Tinker, you want Tinker? Steve Carlton, unbelievable. Great pitcher. 10-plus football Hall of Famers like Ray Lewis, Earl Campbell, Jack Ham, Eagles legend Brian Dawkins, Randall Cunningham, and Vince Papali, and many more. Is it Papal or Papali?
Papali.
For more information, go to thephillyshow.com. Remember, since 1975, the Philly Show is where it all started.
How many times has Steve Carlton strike you out?
None. I got a double off him in the All-Star game in 69.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Joe is in the house.
Of course, then I went
Dan
out
is
for
in the house.
52.
Rico needs oxygen. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Holy mac.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a two-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you are a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Hey, I'm Mike Petroselli. If your company is looking for the best in marketing and promotional items, you'll hit a home run with Petroselli Marketing. With over 8,000 suppliers and 650,000 imprint-ready items, we can get your company the visibility it needs to get your maximum exposure. Whether it be office promotions, wearables, automotive, sports items, and everything in between, Petroselli Marketing can do it all. Our design staff will even work with you from concept to delivery and customize your products. At Petroselli Marketing Group, we will get your brand in front of your audience. Contact us at info@petrosellimkt.com or call us at 603-880-3202. That's Petroselli Marketing, where no dream is impossible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
God.
music. Good
Louis, is
music.
Paul around? He said he's on.
Paul's here.
Okay, yeah, bring him in. But I got to tell you guys a funny comment, Rico comment. Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. We'll introduce everybody, but we're at the commercial break.
Joe, you have
And
to, Joe, you have to unmute yourself, please. I can't unmute you.
Oh, Joe, you're.
Yeah,
I've talked enough, haven't I? I figured I would just mute myself already.
We're in a commercial break, and Petroselli says to me, "You know, I'm just thinking." He says, "Some people are meant to really be rich, and then there's me." He said, "No,
Go ahead.
He says,
Go ahead.
I had a 52 mantle that was in pristine condition when I was a kid, and I loved that car. Gone." He said, "I bought a Corvette, 63 Corvette. When I signed my bonus with the Red Sox, gone. If I would have played 15 years later than I played, I would have earned $30 or $40 million."
But wait, I had Mantl's last out, and they had the 67 ball.
Right.
So
he catches
not
Mickey Mantle's last out, and then he has the ball in his hand that clinched the pennant for them in 67, pretty much.
Yeah, I had it.
All through his fingers.
Rico, you're rich in memories.
Yeah, I know it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Paul,
when I
you
go
know,
to the soup kitchen, I'll remember that.
Paul, you could smile, if you want.
I'm just looking. I don't know if another class is coming in here. So,
Bring him on. Bring him on.
Paul's a professor at Southern Virginia. Paul, the reason we asked you real quickly, obviously you're a small shop, you're a 1 or 2 man operation, very popular in Newport. But what does the Philly show and what does the National mean to you? Because I know you are at both shows and they're very important to you.
exposure, and experience. I have to tell you, Joe, that I've been doing the Philly show for a number of years now, and I love it. People come look for us now. We're situated. We can't wait to be. I've been to the National now the last 12 years. We can't wait to be part of it this year.
Now, this is your first year in the National this year,
Actually
right?
being part of it, yeah. So
Good for
we're
you.
really excited. We've been walking the floor for the last 12 years. We're really excited just to be a small.
That's
small
awesome to
part of it.
hear. It's great, and thank you for the compliments on Philly. We just, like I said, we're just trying to, grow the hobby, in a fun, positive way, and geek out on cards as much as we can. So
Yeah.
thanks for coming and supporting it.
It's really been a lot of fun for us. I love the dealers that were around our little neighborhood. We always look forward to it, and looking forward to it in a couple of weeks.
Paul, are you at the National? Are you by yourself? Or are you with somebody else?
No, I have a few people that are going to be will be with me.
Working with you?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to
it. You chinched out at the Philly show for Rico. Now you didn't buy us a goddamn donut, which we'll let that slide.
He's looking out for you guys.
Oh my gosh!
But at the
I couldn't
Philly,
find you.
At the Philly, Rico's into those what are those nachos things you
Boy,
like?
I had about 15 of those nachos before bags.
Anyway. Hey, listen, we got a ways to go. Paul, stick around. Why don't you tell us
I
about
got to do this fast.
our good friend Charlie Perino and J.R. Archives. And by the way, Lou, we had lunch with Charlie at Eaterly in West Palm Beach a couple weeks ago. It was kind of all right. It wasn't great.
Well, ready? If you want to have an absolute blast at obtaining some
You
great
don't have to read fast.
What? And vintage cards, you got to check out JRI Cards. Our paisan, Charlie, the Iron Ripper Perino, along with Money Marco, the Dollar Girls, and the JR Gang. It sounds like it's just from freaking Godfather.
What do you want from me?
Anyway, they all give you the chance to participate in opening a graded, unopened, and sealed fresh wax, or I call it cello pack of your favorite sport or non-sport favorite. It's easy. You buy in, Charlie opens the pack, and you get a pack fresh card. It's that simple. As a matter of fact, if you pull that special jewel, the guys at JRI will even have it graded for you in the house. Featured in the LA Times, ESPN, and USA Radio, JRI is the hottest card-pulling show on the internet. Charlie and the staff make it fun, entertaining, and enjoyable. With his collection of hats, you got to see these hats, and sound effects. And don't forget that JRI donates a part of their proceeds to various charities.
They do. I know that.
That's good. That's JRI Cards. Check out their exclusive breaks and events that everyone is talking about. They're always digging up cardboard treasures. For a great hobby experience, go to jricards.com. We would, as you mentioned just there, and they got a terrific setup there. And
he's got a phenomenal
family
studio.
business.
Matter of fact, Joe, next year he definitely is coming. He wants to get into he really is a character into the pavilion somehow, whatever. Anyway, Paul, anything new that you've picked up besides the Muhammad Ali?
That wasn't much, but a lot of 86 Flair basketball, which is red hot. 2 raw sets walked into the shop last week. One's already sold. So in a bunch of Michael Jordan inserts along with that. So some cool, more modern stuff, if you will. Not really modern, but yeah, really good, really liquid stuff. So yeah, we're excited about that.
But I wanted to ask you all three about these cards. What are they called? You know, with the two guys.
Pokemon.
No, not Pokemon.
The triple folders?
The double. Kobe Bryant and who else?
The logo. What the hell they call
Logo
it?
Man.
Logo Man.
Is that what they call it?
All right, yeah, let's get Joe's take on this first.
Yeah, I was curious.
Joe, what is I brought this up, and I know we have a few minutes, only a few minutes left, but I brought this up. So what is to prevent? I know that what did they pay? $12 million for the card. What's to prevent? I don't know. Pick two people. Any two people. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson approaching Panini and saying, "Hey, we want you to produce 1 card, 2 cards, and we're going to sign it. And here's a little piece of jock strap or shirts or whatever, and make a card out of it." What are your thoughts on that? I mean, isn't it a possibility that something not good is going to come out of all that? Or am I wrong?
I don't know if I want to touch that one.
Okay, all right. No, and I don't blame you, but I have concerns about that. Danny, what do you think?
Well, I understand what Joe said because you said it's a piece of a jockstrap, and Joe doesn't want to touch that.
Dan gets my humor. I mean, come on, guys. I laid that one up there.
He shoots, he scores. So, it's just here's what they're doing. They're printing money. So Are they making any more Mantle rookies? No. Are they making any more Babe Ruth M101s or T206 Wagners? We already know that's gone, and it's still the most popular in the business. They're printing money. So anytime, a Tyson or a GOAT, a Brady, they're going to make it. It's going to be worth $500,000 to $1 million.
It's basically, and I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's a manufactured rarity, is what it is.
Yeah.
Are we concerned that anybody can? Possibly anybody.
Yeah, I mean, any collector could, if he has bucks, could have a card made somehow and get it.
They make custom cards,
right?
What's cool?
Do you
What's
have any
cool
doubts
is
that Tom Brady is concocting this right now? Tom Brady is in talking with somebody about doing one of these because he'll sell
sure
pizza.
He is. But Joe, what were you going to say?
I was going to say what I found cool was in my inbox. I just read what 2026 Topps is going to be releasing, and I think it's super cool because it's the 75th anniversary, but they're doing a tribute to the 75. What they deemed, they had a board of people vote on what they felt were the best cards, and they're going to be inserts in those packs. Which, and of course, it's Mantle and Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and Roberto Clemente and Sandy Koufax, which is awesome. And I think that also helps elevate what we all love and what Dan does in memory lane, primarily vintage, and Paul I know is a lot of vintage, and Tom I know you collect mostly vintage, which is great, right? To bring that, because there's a lot of new people that came into the community in the last 2 or 3 years that really don't have an affiliation towards vintage, and even to just see it as a chase and go look it up and research it. Like to me, I think vintage is still the hidden gem in the hobby. I do, because the more these cards that you guys are talking about, these rare patch and shields, and which I love what Topps is doing. They're being creative, Topps Fanatics, all those brands. I think it just makes the vintage cards look cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. For me, I just bought, again, I don't mind sharing, but I just bought another Ted Williams rookie the other day because I just think Ted Williams is so underpriced. It's not the sexiest looking card. You know what I'm talking about? 39 play ball, black and white card. If that card was in color, it'd be 10x in every grade. In every grade. If that card looked like the 41 play ball card, you know what I mean? But from a scarcity and rarity standpoint, and
he's the
same standpoint.
And Topps is doing that. Topps is presenting a lot of beautiful, beautiful cards. That stuff, my friend who owns Canon Collectibles in Beverly Hills, he cannot keep product in the store. They come in on their lunch and they'll drop $10,000 for one pack to open up with 8 cards of this National Treasure stuff. And
Paul, are you getting into that at all, Paul?
Not the high end National Treasures or anything like that. You know what I wanted to say too was what I'm amazed at now is the coming out of these. The hobby influencers have their own cards now. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
Some have their moment, I guess.
I think that's what that is, Paul. I mean, I don't have a real problem with that because that's kind of like a marketing piece for them,
Gary V, how he has V friends, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Rico and I have a card. Remember, we had a card that Joe Orlando had a slab. PSA gave us a bunch of them. We never used them.
I saw them in the common boxes.
They were a penny a piece.
Go ahead, tough room. This is a real tough room.
I get 10 for a dime, please.
This is a real tough room. All right, listen, before we take a break, Louis, you're up. Finkelmeyer.
All right, I love Finkelmeyer. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is insuring.
Lou, hold on, Louis. Lou, every week, he really tries hard to make this live read sound like, I don't know, a day in infamy speech by Roosevelt. Just go ahead.
I didn't rehearse this week because I had the Philly read. So I was so psyched to do it for Joe, but I end up with Finkelmeyer anyway. Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency, they've been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring collectible sports collectibles.
No one else.
Nobody else. No one else. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr. He's the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. He has a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management. Tom covers every aspect of your collectibles insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there is no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Our good friend and hobby legend John Tobby of JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer for over 20 years, and for more information, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
Not bad, Lou. Not bad.
Not my best.
It's a book for
listen, we're just about out of time.
That was a Will Campbell performance.
Paul Borges. Paul Borges, you're a professor. You're a college professor, and you're teaching. Why don't you have a jacket and tie on? You should have a tweed suit on.
Not nowadays.
Today's exam day, so it's kind of laid back a little bit, So just do
Paul, we had a great time at your place in Newport.
Yeah, that was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we're about out of time.
We're going to see you guys in spring training, right?
Yeah, if you're going to come, are you going to come over to the East Coast? If you come over, let me know. We'll get some. Let me know. He'll get some good Red Sox tickets for us.
Yeah, right. No, but yeah.
Sounds good. No, I'll call you guys.
All right,
Joe and Dan.
Joe, you
Joe,
guys are great, man.
Great show.
I can't thank you guys enough. You guys know. You guys both know what you
Can
mean
we
to
sell
the show.
this show to some network?
That's Netflix. We'll go on right after.
Oh, right
Ken
after.
Golden.
Joe and I get a percent. We get 1%.
We'll go. We can go on right after Golden. Like it's a nice segue.
Yeah,
right?
Go on first.
All right. With that being said,
Hey,
Joe,
guys.
again, thanks so much. Danny, thanks so much. Paul, thanks for stopping in. Louis, as always, great job.
Yeah.
Rico,
Hey, it was fun. Really nice.
you're going fishing. I'm going for my
not
bike
going
ride.
Fishing. I'm going to hit some golf balls.
I'm going to go for my bike ride. With that being said, to our viewers and listeners, we are in year number 11. The two of us.
How did we do it?
I don't know. You're asking me.
Because
This
of
is
those
our
guys.
11th year we're in, and if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. Thank you all so much for the great support. We love you all. And with that being said, happy collecting.
Take care, guys.
Take care.